Hello, welcome to the American Business Podcast, ABP. I'm Kevin Deveji, your host. Welcome to the podcast. We are happy to have your support on YouTube. We just passed 20,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to our channel and stay in touch. And please, let's grow this business community together. Also, if you have any ideas that you like to share with us, that you can always get in touch with us. You can send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. If you like to be a guest, if you have any ideas that you like us to interact with you, we definitely welcome it. Also, if you visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, you can also get the latest information about the podcast and coming schedule as well. Okay, great. Let's get started. So one of the largest northeastern manufacturing park, an industrial park that we like to talk about, Hauppauge Industrial Park, with thousands of companies, manufacturing companies, and billions of dollars are actually being produced in that park. So for that, we have a great guest. I'm very excited. I'm honored to have Terry Micheli from Hauppauge Industrial, HILI, Hauppauge Industrial Park, right? The Association of Long Island. Terry, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Excited to be here.
Yes, same here. Thank you very much for being with us. Well, with HILI, that I'm very close with for years, that we have been working together. But many of our listeners, we have national and international listeners. As a start, would you please introduce yourself, HILI, to our audience?
Sure, absolutely. So as you said, I'm Terry Lisi Maselli. I'm the CEO of the HILI. And, the HILI is one of the recognized voices for Long Island business, a powerful force in regional and economic development. And Kevin, you alluded to before, we also advocate for the Long Island Innovation Park at Hauppauge, which is the largest in the Northeast. So it's a major economic engine.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, especially nowadays, the manufacturing is getting more and more important for the nation, and the Hauppauge Innovation Park is becoming more and more important for our economy as well. So that's very exciting. So also, would you please tell us about your current work? How did you choose your career?
My career here at the HILI, I have to say, I'm not sure I chose it. I think it chose me. I know that sounds funny, but the original founder, Jack Kulker, of this organization, I was on the board of directors. I had been with Dale Carnegie Training at the time, and he approached me and he said that the current person that was leading the organization was retiring, and would I be interested in, they wanted to really help the organization grow and put it more on the map and, put some processes in place. So they actually approached me, and it was the best decision I ever made, really.
Yeah, I know there's the mission of HL is actually really important, and it's good to know that how you get started. We are also wondering, like, what are the challenges and expectations in terms of your work? What are the challenging parts and exciting parts in your work on daily basis?
Yeah, you know what? I think the most exciting part is just helping businesses in general. I mean, as you know, Kevin, and everybody should know that Kevin is the our manufacturing committee co-chair, so he's very involved in our manufacturing initiative. So thank you for that. Is meeting not only wonderful people like you, but helping businesses out. So we advocate on a lot of different levels. Some of them are a business that might need a permit to expand. So we deal with a lot of the towns and the county to really make that happen. Some of it is helping them or make a better connection to getting funding. So we do that as well. So, I mean, I think that's the most exciting part of my job is meeting with them, going into industries. It's amazing what is not only manufactured, but the types of companies that are on Long Island. They're extremely diverse. And I mean, that part of it I love. I think probably the most challenging part for me is twofold. Number one is It's a very fast-paced industry because we're dealing with a lot of different businesses, number one. So you have to keep your energy up, which is good, which is a great thing. And the second is, I've always said it's not easy running a business. It's not for the faint of heart. So very often we're meeting with businesses that are, going through layoffs, merging, which sometimes can be difficult. Again, looking for money when they have an opportunity either to stay in business or not stay in business, and that's the tough part. Really talking to people and hearing many of those stories become difficult because this is such a small business island. So we want to help those small businesses survive.
Well, especially when we look at the Hauppauge Innovation Park in general, would you please share some information with our audience just for them to be more informed about the importance of the park?
Sure. I mean, I guess it was probably about 2016 that we've always advocated for the park, but in 2016 we went out and got funds to be able to do what was called an opportunity analysis for the park, to really look at what is the opportunity and what does the park give back to not only the local economy but to the state and federally. So we were astonished, Kevin, at the results that came out. So we both alluded to, this innovation park is the largest in the Northeast, only second behind Silicon Valley. 55,000 employees, 1,300 companies, an economic output of 13 billion, so a major economic output, and 58% of the companies in the park are coming from what are called tradable sectors, which means they're importing and or exporting, bringing money back into the local businesses on Long Island. So again, they're a major economic engine, and it really led us on a journey to look at how we can help, this innovation park grow. We're working right now with a company that looks like it's going to help us make the park the first smart park. So from a connectivity standpoint, that means a lot, right? And we've done a lot of other things really to help the companies grow. So we're real excited about that.
And there are many manufacturers in the Hauppauge Innovation Park. So manufacturing is actually a driving force in the region. So from your point of view, what are the most I must say, the biggest threats to manufacturing in the region, you will say, as a disruptor?
Yeah, listen, so I mean, in this park, we hold all of the major biopharma companies have, at least some of them have their corporate headquarters, but many of them have at least one location in the park, and a lot of other, defense industries, things like that. I think the biggest challenge continues to be filling the talent pipeline. And you and I have had the discussion, and you guys have done in the manufacturing committee some magnificent programming on really looking at how do we get kids, for example, or young professionals, for example, more excited about going into a manufacturing field. It's not necessarily something that we are talking about as parents at a dining room table. Go into manufacturing. The old manufacturing is much different than advanced manufacturing. In fact, we know that if you took people that worked in manufacturing in the Grumman days and you brought them back into work, they would not be prepared for advanced manufacturing. It's a very, very different business. So there's about 3,000 manufacturers on Long Island, still the third highest in payroll, still the leader in technological innovation. And we need to get, let our kids know that. So that's a big thing that you and I talk about a lot, but
Correct.
the HIALI really has a very lucrative workforce development initiative because of it. Because we got to let our young professionals know that, right? That
True.
you
True.
can make six figures in a manufacturing firm. And by the way, you don't have to be on a factory line. You can work in accounting. You can work in, the administrative piece there. is equally as important.
Let's talk about AI a little bit. We all utilize AI in some form in our businesses in general, and when we look at manufacturers, they also, utilize it too. Uh, and AI is here to stay. That's pretty obvious. Um, I like to learn about your viewpoint. What do you think about AI? How it's gonna be continue changing our lives, especially from business point of view? And do you think if AI will replace jobs in the future?
Sure. I mean, I will tell you that personally, I use AI. I use Chat GPT all the time. Primarily because I want to get more comfortable with it as a leader, right? It always starts at the top, I believe. Um, I view it as a vehicle for businesses to become far more efficient, save a lot of time, and really streamline some processes. I think that's the real good news to AI. We've run some wonderful programs on AI to really help our businesses feel a lot more comfortable with it. Change is not easy. I don't believe, Kevin, that it'll replace human jobs, because one thing that AI cannot do, although it can help us again become a lot more efficient and save a lot of time, it does not have a human emotion to it, right? So, customer service is more important now than ever before, right? Connecting to people more important now than ever before. So I don't see it as a threat.
Mhm.
I can tell you when it first came out and I started hearing about it, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it, but I really genuinely have kind of engulfed myself in it so that I can understand it better. And I think it's here to stay. Regardless of how people feel about it, it is
Mhm.
absolutely here to stay.
Yes, yes, it looks so. And there was another conversation that I joined before, and the conversation was how AI will be actually replacing some mundane tasks, some positions will be um, replaced, and then but the human touch, that the human connection is the unique part. That's how it looks. As much as we use some AI agents right now, there is a long way to go.
Yeah.
Um,
And listen,
to,
I
to
just read a statistic the other day that said
Mhm.
9 out of 10 businesses see AI as a really good way to become a lot more competitive in their markets, right? Because if
Mhm.
if they're in a market where they're using it or they're leading it, I think that we have our trade show coming up on May 29th,
Yes,
and
we'll talk about it too. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and Google will be heading that up. So the head of global marketing, Harris Bieber, will be talking about AI because it's so important.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, well, having said that about the trade show, let's just talk about it. I was planning to talk about it in the end, but I think this is time, so why not? Let's talk about it. So, well, it is coming up. I'm gonna be there as well. We're gonna have a booth, so we are very excited. We try to be there as every single year. So that is the largest trade show on Long Island in the region. So it's the May 29th, right, Thursday. So it's very exciting. Uh, can you tell us about the trade show? I'm sure you are also excited too, but some insights for our audience will be great.
Yeah, I can't tell you how proud I am of it, because we began that initiative literally at a local hotel, and we said let's get a group of businesses together that can have booths and people can walk around. We're in our 37th year, and we have
Amazing.
over 300 exhibitors, close to usually 5,000 business professionals walking the floor. So it is the place to be on May 29th. And I think, Kevin, that trade shows offer a unique opportunity for businesses, because you really can meet prospective clients in a very, very large way, right? All in
Yes.
one day, all in one
Mhm.
day. And it's a great opportunity for businesses also to brand themselves and to really be seen as a leader in their industries. This year, we're doing several things that are new that I'm really excited about.
All
So
right.
we have what are called trade show talks. They're spin-offs on TED Talk. So they'll be on the trade show floor throughout the day. People will be
Exciting. Yeah,
speaking
that's great.
I think it's every 20 minutes, and they'll be talking about different topics. So that adds a
Mhm.
lot of energy to the floor, which is
For
great.
sure. Mhm.
I just mentioned we'll have a head of Google who will be talking about AI, how, demystifying it. What is it? What is it not? Why is it so critical for your business? We have an executive luncheon talking about economic development and projects that really can change the landscape of Long Island. So things like the Brookhaven National Labs Electron Ion Collider, Belmont Park, Station Yards, which is a tri-tech project that really a downtown project, and they did patch hog as well. We will talk about the Long Island Innovation Park at Hop Hog because again, there's a lot of growth going on in this park, and
Mhm.
we'll probably hear some news about Sands Casino.
Yes.
They're looking for, as you know, a third party
Mhm.
to take that Nassau hub over. So all of that'll happen that day. And it's a great time not only to, as I said before, meet prospective clients, but also to reconnect with people who you haven't seen. That's what I love about it.
Yes, the
Um,
connection.
yeah, the connection and seeing people you haven't seen for a while and making some great appointments and things like that. So don't
Mhm.
miss it. May 29th.
Yes, yeah. I mean, to our audience, definitely don't miss it. And to your point, absolutely. Our mission in the podcast is to share educational, informative content. In a way, we ask professionals and leaders like yourself to, for you to share your wisdom. When anytime that I go to HLA trade show over the years, that is actually a way to share your wisdom, learn from others,
Mm-hmm.
connect others, as well as interact with them. So that's a great opportunity to have that professional connection. And I'm glad that there is the HLI trade show talks are coming too. I think that's also additional way of learning from other professionals. I think that's exciting.
Great. And I do want to mention for any of you who do want to come down, please pre-register so that you avoid the $10 walk-in fee. So you can go right on to hia-li.org and pre-register right there. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. Our producer is Bet. Bet, let's put the HILI, HIA-li website, .org website on our screen. So let's keep it on the screen so our audience can follow. Okay, HIA-li.org. We're gonna bring it to screen
all right,
in a
good.
minute. All right,
Thank
sounds good. Yes, so in that sense, absolutely. I think I know that the HILI trade show actually has a great mission in that sense. That's the largest trade show on Long Island, and that's a great opportunity for all the businesses and communities. And I know you also talked about manufacturing earlier. Also, schools come to the HILI trade show. So buses, bus after bus. That is also a great opportunity for next generation to come and interact with the professionals as well as businesses, manufacturing, and other industries as well. That's also very exciting to bring in next generation.
Yeah, listen, that's a big initiative of ours, whether it's at the trade show or not, but certainly
Mhm,
it's at the show, is that our
mhm.
ability to be able to um, really make a connection with young professionals. Um,
Absolutely.
I'm hesitating because there you go. Um, so the ability to be able to do that is so important that they understand the opportunities that are out here. And that's one of the ways to do it is to walk the trade show floor. We have a robotics club. We have a bunch of different schools coming down. And we also on November 4th will be running one of the first workforce development summits where we're bringing in guidance counselors as well as superintendents to really talk about how the curriculum needs to change in school. So all of that really helps us with our future workforce.
Yes, that's very important. So we actually last week we talked to some educators from Long Island area, and we talk about how we can keep the next generation on Long Island so that they can actually contribute to island as well as stay there. So that's very important in that sense to introduce them manufacturing and other industries available on Long Island that they can actually be part of. So that's definitely gonna be happening at the HLA trade show, and important for the region for sure, for sure. So well, I like to shift it towards your role models. You're an important leader in our region, which I respect and follow carefully. So, do you have any role models that you can share with our audience?
Sure, I have a few of them. I think from a personal perspective, my grandmother was a huge role model. She was someone who did not drive. She was a seamstress by trade and woke up one morning and my grandfather went to work. He owned a construction company and she called a cab and took a cab to get a job. Decided she wanted to work, right? She was a stay-at-home mom at that point, but decided she wanted to work and continued to work for until she passed away actually, and she was just someone who came from what I call strong cloth, right? She used to just give us a lot of pearls of wisdom. I think from a professional standpoint, I've always followed Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Supreme Court judge who
Mhm.
is not with us anymore, but she's always talked a lot about you know do what you care about and do it in a way that other people can really come along with you. So she was very human relations oriented, which is really my style and leadership. So I've always migrated towards people like that.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we learned some role models from you. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
Uh, and you have decades of professional experience. Uh, would you like to share some lessons learned in your long career that you can share with our audience? The
Sure.
lessons learned in your professional journey.
Yeah. Two big ones for me when I was much younger. One was, I think I alluded to, I used to work at Dale Carnegie Training and the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? So it's all about, again, human relations skills and how you lead people. And I remember originally, before I worked with them, I was in a class, a Dale Carnegie program, and the person sitting next to me was an extremely well-known CEO of a bank. And I was young. I might have been maybe 18, maybe 19. Um, and we went through a 14-week program together. And, I remember him saying to me frequently, when you get out in business, one of the things you have to remember is that everybody kind of puts their pants on the same way, right? They're humans, that if you can connect to people on a human level and be genuinely interested in the other person, that you can develop a relationship no matter who they are, no matter who they are. And that was a huge life lesson for me. I think the second one was when I was working at Dale Carnegie Training, I became later on in my career the youngest managing director, which was a really big deal. And there were people, some people, not all people, but some people that surrounded me that didn't necessarily think I could do it. And I remember very early on the people who did believe in me saying, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. In other words, what other people feel about you, what you do well, what you don't do well, you know, seek advice absolutely from people, but the naysayers don't focus on that. And that's a big lesson to learn, by the way, when you're young, right? Because
Yes.
we're by
Yes.
intrinsically we're people pleasers, so it's not always easy to be able to do something like that. But those were two really really big life lessons for me.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's for sure. Well, what are your biggest passion and interests outside of work?
So I love to read. I'm a child of learning, right? So I say that every day is a learning day. I mean, even now, and I've been in here for 20 years. I mean, every single day I learn something. But I'm an avid reader of all types of books. I actually belong to a book club, and I love it. I mean, we meet monthly, and again, we read all different types of books. Also belong to a dining club, because I like to eat as well, and I like to cook,
Yeah, that's great.
and I love movies. So I'm just the type of person. Just I love to learn new things. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, it's important that we learn from you. It's because we have a large young audience as well, in addition to the experienced professionals. From YouTube, we learn all these statistics. So I'm glad that you share these insights, because that's important for us, of course, also for coming next generation leaders as well. Speaking of next generation, well, it's actually hard to believe we already passed 30 minutes almost. So it's great. Thank you so much for being with us. Before we end our session, our episode, do you have any career advice for the coming generation, in case, especially for those who are on Long Island, that we like them to stay and work on Long Island?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they've heard this from other people. This is not new, but do what you love. When you do what you love, it's not a job, right? When you're genuinely interested in it, it's not a job. I can say advice for Long Island is just understand that we have a lot of really interesting companies on Long Island that, you don't have to go to Silicon Valley, right? So we
True,
might not
that's
have
true.
Google, but we have other businesses that are extremely interested. So seek them out. Seek those mentors out. Seek people out that can really help you make those connections.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And follow HILI, right? So that's definitely
Yeah.
also a great benefit for the next generation. Also, please register the trade show. It's coming up May 29th. We're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. We all gonna be there. So it's a great opportunity. Visit hili.org. When you go, you'll see the trade show section. Please register early on, and it's a great opportunity. Terry, thank you so much for being with us. I know you have a very busy schedule and you found time with us. Thank you so much for your time, for your advice, and more importantly, thank you for your leadership in the region.
Well,
Truly appreciate it.
thank you for the opportunity, Kevin, and thank you for volunteering. As you know, I don't take it lightly. I know how busy everybody is. So thanks for
It's
being
my it's
involved
my
with the organization.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, to our audience and to our listeners, it's been a great conversation with Terry Miseli, and we learned a lot in this session as well. Thank you for being with us. And please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We just passed 20,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. If you have an idea, if you like to be a guest speaker, if you have some ideas for the podcast that you like us to cover, it's because our podcast is educational, informative, please send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, you can also see our coming schedule and you can learn about it. And you can set your time and join us. Thank you so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.